first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Greg Nibbler. We are live streaming here at the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, and we appreciate everybody being here. Something that I'm sure you're all well aware of is that we have had some pretty big things going on weather-wise here over the last, well, really week and a half, but particularly last night with so many people losing power. And we've got a bit of outside, if you look outside right now, from my opinion, it seems quite nice outside.
It is.
Yeah, and that's not going to change, though. And we have Mr. Mark Nelsen joining us right now to talk all about that. And Mark, I will say, if you do step outside, it's pretty pleasant.
Oh, yeah, today was an easy day. Uneventful weather day. Once we got past about 2 a.m., it was uneventful.
Yeah, right.
Is it weird that I got home last night? I got home about 11:30 after finishing the late show, and I'm like, our models were so clear-cut saying we're going to get a burst of west wind between midnight and 2 a.m. I'm like, I'm going to stay up for this, like when I was younger. And I did, and wow, it showed up exactly right on schedule.
I woke up at probably about like 1:30 last night, and it was one of the loudest. It sounded like an explosion or something crashing through my car. And I thought a branch had come down on that. It wasn't anywhere around my house. I don't know where it was, but something
hit something.
Something hit something, or a transformer exploded. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was big.
So here's the deal. We did expect a burst of westerly wind. It was just a cold front that moved through. In fact, the temperatures did what they were supposed to. It dropped about 10 degrees within an hour or two. Remember, we got rid of the really warm stuff. I noticed when I was just outside at this little coffee shack that's here for the day, it was like, oh, it's actually chilly like December should be, right? Feels back to normal today.
Right.
So that was a cold front, but it was an especially sharp cold front. In fact, in that there was a push of westerly wind right behind it for about an hour. The wind didn't last long. It wasn't like a typical windstorm here. It was there and then it was gone, but man, it caused a lot of trouble. So 55 was a gust at PDX. And that is not too unusual. In fact, if we look at some other gusts, all the airports around town, the official observations, 48 at Hillsborough, 41 at Vancouver, 43 at Troutdale, the 43 at Salem. These two, that was before the power went out, so most likely it was a little higher. But the point is, wind gusts 40 to 50, 53, 55 even, we typically don't see the amount of damage and the power outages that we saw. Greg, it was all about the west wind. It was a west wind, and we hadn't had a big burst of west wind like that since in March of 2017, something similar happened.
Wow, so
It's about the direction.
So what causes a west wind like that?
Well, meteorologically, it was just because it came in from behind the front, just the way things
Gotcha.
were, the lows and the highs were lined up. I could spend a while on that. But another question is like, well, why was that different than a south wind? Why would it matter, right?
Yeah.
Because our trees are used to a south wind, right?
Gotcha.
We get that all winter long. But if it comes from the west, that's an issue. In fact, our trees, especially central and east metro, east wind gust to 50 at the airport sometimes gives us, 1,000 people out of power. That's it. But they're used to the east wind, they're used to the south wind, not a westerly wind. And on top of that, we have very saturated ground, so it's easy for trees to fall over when the ground is soaked.
So that combo of hitting from that different direction and, the very soaked ground.
I think most of it was the direction. Direction was the problem.
Wow.
And probably won't happen again for many years, but it just every once in a while that's going to happen. And our models, we're saying maybe gusts 40, 45. Obviously 55 is a little higher than that, but for most of us, our forecast models did really well. I put out the little note last night saying, hey, deflate your little, the floaty things. Talked about that at 10 because we're going to have a burst of wind. So, that part worked out right. But we got bigger gusts for you. Fremont Bridge was 55. There was a 56, Chehalem Mountain, Oregon City, 45. So, again, these are not crazy, but it's a direction. Now, here are the crazy numbers. I don't know if you've seen these, Greg. 138 at the top of the Magic Mile lift. We think that probably happens during winter storms from time to time, but it's usually frozen in a brick of ice, rime ice, up there at that elevation. And at Timberline Lodge, this one shocks me. Timberline Lodge, there's a sensor kind of at the top of the Poochie Lift, which is kind of half in the trees. When it gets above 40, that's pretty exciting. It hits 75. Can you imagine what that felt like at Timberline Lodge at 1 a.m.?
Oh, yeah.
That would wake you up.
That would definitely wake you up.
And then at the top of the Cascade Lift at Meadows, 103. Both of these, there was a power outage. It hit that, and then there was a power outage, so it may have been higher. And this is what I think caused the big damage. Down where people live, rhododendron, a gust of 59. That's down in the trees, as you're going along Highway 26. That's a huge wind there. Lolo Pass Road, 1,700 people live in that area, gust of 56 within all these huge fir trees. That's why we have so much damage. It came from the west, and it was extra strong like in those Cascade Valleys.
And so that's what knocked down all those trees, because I know there's a bunch of roads that were blocked up there.
Yes.
They're all over the place, really, but
a strong west. I don't remember a time when we had, I'm sure it's happened in my 32-year career here, but that's probably only happened like 2 or 3 or 4 times up there.
Wow.
So that's pretty rare, once every 10 years or so.
All right. So westerly wind.
Yeah. All right. So, of course, it calmed down today, but tomorrow's going to be a first alert weather day. We've been talking about this for several days, right? You've heard about, we've got this flood watch up, right, for tomorrow. Flood watch is still up. Tomorrow's a first alert weather day. We're mainly focused to midday and afternoon. Tomorrow morning is just going to be a light rain. But we think up to 2 inches or maybe a little more. Actually, I meant to put this to 2 to 3 inches in the metro and valley, 3 to 4 inches of rain in the Cascades, all right? And then southerly gusts in the afternoon, not as big of a deal, but 20 to 35 since the trees are weakened a bit and it's going to be saturated. I think we'll have a few scattered outages again later tomorrow afternoon, not in the morning, but in the afternoon. The wind will be light till about 2 or 3 p.m. tomorrow in the metro. But this is enough. We're going to see areas of flooding coming up tomorrow afternoon. And of course, with saturated soil, add another 2 to 3 inches of rain on the ground. Greg, I just think we're going to see a lot of issues this time, beginning this time tomorrow evening. For that reason, the Weather Service has a flood watch up. They've kind of lowered it to the north of Kelso Longview because I'm not as concerned about Astoria and Kelso. I'll show you why in just a second.
Okay.
All right, so you can probably guess it's another atmospheric river. I tend to only use that term when we have a real one, not just like every storm isn't an atmospheric river. I've kind of seen that, some meteorologists. But yeah, you kind of see things getting organized here. This is going to be aimed right across western Oregon. So here's the forecast cloud cover. So did it just run through the whole thing? Who didn't put this? We call those stop points, Greg. I'm going to fire whoever didn't do that, except it was me.
Sternly worded letter, maybe.
I'm not going to run through that again. So yeah, a nasty email. The bulk of the rain arrives right away. It's going to be gray tomorrow, rainy right away in the morning. The rain picks up in intensity around noon or so. It should be like, oh yeah, now it's raining pretty good. And at some point, mid-afternoon, late afternoon, evening, we're getting 0.2 of an inch of rain per hour. When that happens hour after hour on this saturated soil, we're just going to start seeing, water in low spots. No fun in the evening commute tomorrow. Morning commute, fine, just light rain. But that's when we're going to start to see some issues coming up here. Here are the forecast rain amounts. Now this one better work or I'll be really mad. There we go. Okay, so this is through 10 p.m. tomorrow. This is, if we get 2.5 inches of rain or more in one day, that's near record level for us. That is a lot of rain on top of the saturated ground. Same thing, similar Eugene, Salem. So these are big amounts. Of course, there's more in the Cascades. This actually goes into Friday morning. And if we just take the numbers off, you can see not as big of a deal. Is that purple color? Yeah, 1 to 2 inches north of Portland and Astoria. So the point is, this is about Portland Metro south into the valley. I think there's going to be a lot of flooding areas in the valley. Right now, the Weather Service has, I believe they have flood warnings up. I'm going to mess this up. I think it's Johnson Creek. It already has a flood warning, which is somewhat unusual before the rain has even started. Clackamas River, maybe the Molalla River. I don't remember if the Sandy is one of them, but that may flood. Also, the Molalla, Sandy, and the Pudding River, of course. Lucky Mute, kind of at the edge of our viewing area. And maybe a few coastal rivers, Wilson River. It doesn't look as major on the north coast because, of course, not as much rain up here. So I just think we're going to have a lot of issues on the big rivers. They'll start flooding tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, and there'll be probably a lot of flooding along the Clackamas River, maybe the Sandy River, Molalla River, tomorrow night into Friday morning, because it takes time for the rivers to rise, as opposed to the immediate effect right on in our neighborhoods.
And all of those rivers feeding right there into the Willamette, so that whole valley. Yeah. The whole valley.
The Willamette main stem will be okay because there's still plenty of room in the flood control reservoirs like Detroit Lake, Lookout Point, Green Peter. There's still plenty of room. I know it's Green Peter Reservoir after the rain last week, it went up like 80 feet. But then they've drained it like 10 or 15 feet slowly, but now it's going to fill up even more.
I mean, I suppose that's good in the long run.
Yeah, that's the whole point for those reservoirs. They run them very low in the winters so they can store that. So as of now, there's no flood warning expected on the main stem Willamette. It'll go high and muddy, a lot of debris. One other thing, with the wind tomorrow, there's kind of a brief surge, 4, 5, 6 p.m., and then it's gone. So we don't expect high winds coming up for tomorrow. That's not the graphic I wanted. Okay, there you go. We're going to leave it at that one, Greg.
Okay.
The rest of my graphics are not lined up for the 4 o'clock show quite yet. We'll have all the details, at 4 o'clock. But yeah, so it's all about the rain tomorrow. A little bit of wind, but and we can never predict tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, Friday. Could there be some mudslides? Remember the one along the Siletz River, of course?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, down in the Siletz area. So that's going to happen again somewhere.
Yeah, so. That's especially they're already worried about that happening. I was hearing anyway before this.
Right.
Just of where we're at right now, some of those areas, because I think that one down there by Siletz is still moving.
Right.
From what
and we're going to pile all that water into the soil again.
Yeah.
That's one of the, growing up here, I think that's one of the kind of more scary things in that you don't know. We can predict kind of where the flooding's going to happen, the river's rising, but nobody knows where a hillside is suddenly just going to give way. And it can happen days after the rain stops.
Yeah, yikes. So it's something to be really, really careful out there about.
Especially after dark tomorrow night.
Okay. Yeah, and it sounds like the commute is going to be.
Tomorrow evening's commute is not going to be fun.
Looking forward to that. Yeah. So
You better just stay here, Greg, and hang out with us.
I might as well.
We'll be covering it all through the evening.
I'll bring a sleeping bag tomorrow. So.
But tomorrow morning should be okay, just light rain.
Okay. All right. Well, Mark, thank you very much.
Of course.
For getting us this. So the rain. Just to recap again, the rain starts
middle of the night tonight.
middle of the
light
night
rain.
tonight. Okay.
It's light tomorrow morning. Midday it picks up in intensity.
So
I think the
enjoy the
issues are going to
evening.
be the second part of the day, late in the day.
Enjoy the evening while we have it.
Yes, all quiet this evening. Nothing's going on.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, Mark, I know you have more coming up at 4, and I know you got to get ready
yeah.
for that. So thank you for talking to
Of
us
course.
here on Fox 12 Now. Always appreciate it. And I'll let you go back to your weather corner and enjoy your weather stuff, your graphics. Talk to the person in charge of your graphics.
Are you my
That's right.
secret Santa? I haven't checked yet.
I'm not. I can tell you I'm not, but I will say I forgot to bring the present for the person I am Secret Santa for. So, yeah. I
Camilla,
kinda
Greg
screwed that
forgot
one
to
up.
bring the Secret Santa gift for his person.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody. Speaking of emails.
I probably shouldn't have admitted that. All right. Anyway,
Live on TV right here.
inside baseball. Okay. Thanks, Mark.
Okay.
And everybody watching, thank you for joining us. This is Fox 12 Now. We will, of course, keep you up to date on everything that's going on there. The weather, Mark and the whole team will be there on the Fox 12 weather app, giving you updates if something big happens and letting you know what's going on. And we've got plenty more here that we'll be covering tomorrow as well. And anytime there's news between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., I mean, I'm always here, but if there's breaking news especially, I will definitely be here for that too. So thanks for tuning in for that. And that's it for now, though. We'll sign off. And unless something happens between now and 4 p.m., we will see you at 4 with our 4 o'clock news. I'm Greg Miller. This is Fox 12 Now.